All right, looks like we're all set. Let's do this. Let's go. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome back to my stream. I'm Pierre, your host. I hope you're all doing great today. It's Friday. It's the beginning of the weekend. It's payday. Woohoo! All right. So it's exciting for me too, because after this whole week where I could only paint for like 20 minutes because I had to wait for the paint to dry, today I'm actually going to be able to paint a little longer, which is pretty awesome since that's what I love doing the most. So anyways, what are we going to do? We're going to start off like we always do. We're going to run over to the computer. We're going to check out what we did yesterday, a little video of like 10, 15 seconds, and then we'll tackle our day from there. So let's go over and check this out. Let's see. So a little recap. Yes, well, what did we do yesterday? It was so easy, so simple. All we did was add this little red shadow to our little planets. Nothing too complicated. And unfortunately, that is why our stream was so short yesterday, about 25 minutes. And that's because I talked so much to stretch it out that it seemed to last 25 minutes when in fact I got this done in like 10 minutes. So anyways, let's not waste any time. I'm going to start with my first leaves. I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use a kind of a green turquoise, which I have never used. It's simply called turquoise, but I know there are several kinds. There are blue turquoise, green turquoise. I think this one here is the green turquoise. So let's try that out. At least we're going to set down the first coat today. Monday we'll probably have to add a second coat because like always you'll see through these colors. But now that I think about it, what I usually do is I put a white background to make sure that the colors stick out and are nice and nice and vibrant. So I'm wondering if I should do that. I can't believe that I didn't even think of that before. I was so psyched to start putting in some colors that I completely forgot basically how I go about making sure that these colors are nice and vivid. And they usually are because I put a white background first which shines through the paint on top of it. So what? So we're going to put this turquoise away. I guess we're not going to... or if I put 2 coats of turquoise anyways, well, that... okay, you know what? I mean, I'm used to doing things one way. I'm not going to change today. So I'm just going to put the background of all our plants with some white, and then on Monday we'll add the turquoise, at least the first coat of the turquoise. So that's a little bit of a bummer. And there's been a lot of bummers this week because again, yesterday or day before yesterday, I thought I would be able to get away by putting 1 coat of the orange paint here on my planets. And in fact, I realized I had to put a second coat on, which was a little disappointing because I wanted to go quickly. And again, I'm a little bit disappointed today because again, this is going to take, but again, I don't know why I'm in such a rush. I have nothing else to do. So might as well just enjoy it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put the background in white paint. And I'm going to enjoy myself because that's what it's all about, having fun while I'm painting. The other thing I did a little different today is that I have overhead lights and I turned those off. There are yellow light bulbs, and usually when I'm painting up here, you can have the reflection of those light bulbs on my paint. I figured I'd try without that overhead light And apparently by looking at my computer, it seems like it's working okay. Maybe you wouldn't even notice if I didn't say anything. But anyways, I'm just, trying something new, see if it works out a little bit better, whatever. So I am going to grab a paintbrush, and I'm going to grab kind of a big fat paintbrush to add the water to my paint so I can get it to be the right consistency as quickly as possible. So what brush would allow me to do that kind of quick? I'm going to use this big fat brush right here. I don't think I'll paint with it afterwards, but at least it'll get our paint to be that right texture. There we go. Now, of course, if I was mixing several colors, I would probably go to camera number 1 over there, and I would mix this with you guys. But since it's like white paint on a white background, really it's not that exciting. And usually I zoom in the camera on the palette itself so you can see the mixture and everything, and it turns out I do have some water right here. That's handy as well. So let me just blend in all this water and paint. Hopefully I'll have enough paint here to do all my plants. I see there's a reflection of the window a little bit, but what the heck. I'm not going to paint in the dark. The more light, the better it is. So I'm getting to that nice creamy texture that I like. So it flows on the canvas beautifully. I don't want to add too much water because I want to keep this paint as opaque as possible, obviously. And the whole point is to have a nice opaque background so these colors stick out. So that looks pretty good there. Looks like some nice kind of almost snow white. You almost want to bake a cake with this. Okay, so let me get back to camera number 2 here. And at the same time, pick the right paintbrush. So let me see what I'm going to do first. I'm going to do, I think, a plant over here, another one over here, and maybe a third one down here. So I'm going to start up here like I always do, upper left-hand corner. Then I'll just work my way around. So what brush am I going to use? Again, I think maybe this one. I like it because it's kind of pointed on the top and nice and fat on the bottom. It might be a little too thin though. I might have to switch over to this guy. We'll see. I'll put him aside and I'll go with my first gut feeling. I don't want my plants to be too big either, so this might be just the right candidate. Let me get rid of that excess water right here. There we go. Let me bring camera number 1 a little bit closer. I'm going to put that right in here. The camera up. See the spot where I'll be working, which is basically there. So I'm still thinking and debating about this paintbrush. Some reason it looks a little small. So do I have something a little bit bigger like this this one here, or even something here that, okay, not here because these guys are for a different purpose. So maybe this one here. I'm going to try this one. I'm going to not even try the one I picked first. I'm going to go with another one because I can tell almost right away that it's going to be too small. There, got rid of the excess water. Let's load up the paintbrush of paint. Going to step back one more time and take a look at what I want to do. Okay, so let's go to camera number 1 and let's start. There we go. I'm trying to avoid getting my white paint on the gesso that's behind there because believe it or not, when you paint over, you can see the difference. The gesso really has a whole different rendering of the paint when you paint over it than the white paint. You would think that white and white wouldn't make that much of a difference, but it does actually. So that is why I'm pretty careful. There we go. There we go. So I don't have to be all that precise since I am going to have some colors going on top of this, so I'll always be able to fix a little bit of details if I need to. There we go. And then I guess I can just have a little bit, oops, hair sticking out there. Just have a little tad right. Just like that. I guess I didn't get rid of that hair. What's it doing there? There we go. So let me just step back, take a little look. Yeah, that's fine. So let's go over here where I'm going to tackle my next plant on the other end of this painting. Let me pull the lens back a little bit. I'm going to do something right in here, I guess, right? So, is this going to work? I'll start off with this like that. The camera down a little bit. I'll just zoom in a little bit, just like that. There we go. So you see there's one of my planets completely disappeared. That's the way it goes, though. It was just the background, so a lot of this stuff gets covered up. That's why I don't get too stressed out when I paint on them. Now, there's another planet that's going to disappear as well. There we go. Voila, booyah. Up, up. Then, there we go. I'd like to keep half of this planet in the background. There we go. Let me just step back for a second. Yeah, that's not too bad. I guess this guy can be just a little bit fatter right in there. It's over. Just like that. Step back. So that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. So I'm going to bring this camera back again because now we're going to work on the lower part. I'm going to put a plant like right in here, I guess, right? So for that, I'm going to bring over my chair. There we go. I'm not going to break my back. So yeah, I guess something like that. When I painted these planets, I did mention that a lot of this stuff was going to disappear, as it always does. That's the way it goes. So let me just get back. Oh, I'll leave the double cameras on for a few minutes. There we go. Let me just get the outlines to my plants first. There we go. And I had no idea I was going to be painting in the white today. Another planet that disappeared. This baby that. Very good. I'm not sure how much of this plant we'll see when it's all done. I do have a lot of things going to go on top of all this. But that's okay. This is kind of like, paintings are like assembling a puzzle, really. Actually, I'm just realizing that I think I'm out of my green or my blue turquoise. So this will actually give me time to go and buy some more of my turquoise paint. So yes, everything has a reason for being. Good. So let's go down this. Here. And another planet that disappears. I had a feeling that was going to happen when I painted this one. Reason I painted it is because I just didn't want my streams to be too short. They were already short enough as is. So I have to step back and take a look, see really what I'm doing from afar. This guy here looks awful skinny. That. Let me step back and take a look. See what's going on. Okay, that's not too bad. Just gonna fix a little bit right in here. Maybe make it just a whisker thicker. This. Just a little thicker. So let me see what this looks like from back here. Okay. All right, so we have our 3 plants right there. Okay, very good. Let me just kind of rinse off my paintbrush. I got kind of caked up in paint. There we go. Get rid of the excess water. And now let's tackle our leaves. I know this is kind of an awkward shape, but right in here, there's going to be a painted frame all the way around. I didn't do it yet because I have no idea what color it's going to be. Of course, I'm leaving a border, a good 4 inches on each side, so you can stretch it on a stretcher later. But I do have a frame that I'm going to be painting at the end of this painting. And this is the first time I actually am painting an oval like this, so just trying new things, you know. So, that said, let's get to our leaves here. So I need to step back. Just going to start just like that. There we go. Very good. All right. There. So what does that look? If you step back, I think that looks quite okay. We are going to do the same, I guess, right down over here as well. Right in this area here. Do a few leaves as well. Just like that. I am going to have to grab my chair again. Let me bring that baby over here. There we go. Very good. Oops. Another hair. So I have to step back and take a look. I can't just... Okay. Very good. Just like that. Like that. Actually, there we go. Now, what do we have? Very good. Now, like this, bring it a little closer. Up. Cameras. I'm going to just throw in one more in here. And a little hint of one right there. And a hint of one right here. So, what does that look? Step back for a second. I'll pull the camera back here so you can see as well what it looks like so far. Pretty good. And all we have to do is maybe just get a few leaves in here, and should balance out pretty good. All this again is just the background. So okay, let me get my chair out of the way. I'll bring the camera up a little bit closer. And I am just going to add a drop of water just to rework the paint for these last few leaves. There we go. There. That looks pretty good. Okay, so let's get back to camera number one and start off these last few leaves here. I think I'm going to start right in here. Just like that. And the idea is to have these leaves look like they're just randomly put anywheres. And of course, that's not the case. We want everything to be well balanced. Everything has to be well balanced and harmonious. Like that. There we go. The camera over a little bit so I have some room to paint. Okay, so let me just step back again, take a look. Maybe I'll add just a leaf down here, right under the mug here. Just a hint. Right in there. Then we can come back to up here. Where do I go? Just like that. Step back and take a look. There. Run right like this. Just the hint or the tip of a leaf. That. So, how does that look? I'll pull the camera back a little bit so you can see. I have a feeling there's one spot that I have to add one more leaf, but I'm just going to wait a second and think about this. Yep, I guess so. I have to put one right in here. This was a missing link. So, what does that give us? That gives us a full background for our painting. That's pretty good. So, I guess we are at the conclusion of today's painting, right? So that's the view from camera number 2. There's the view from camera number 1. And that's a view from the webcam with me in front. So anyways, my friends, I'm going to thank you very much for joining me today. I all hope you have an awesome weekend. I hope you'll join me on Monday for the first colors on our leaves. And I'm going to leave you like I always do. Well, usually with 2 things. This time it'll be 3 things. I'm going to wish you a great weekend. I am going to leave you with my schedule, and I am going to say, ciao, mes amis.